My name is Jacob van der Blom, Jacob, but from birth Jacob. And I was born in the city of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Rotterdam is the second largest city. It's a big harbor city. I was born on the south side in a family which was also originally from this area. I'm 41 years old now. I was born in 1977, and I grew up all my life in Rotterdam. Currently, I have a family of 6 with me. So me, my wife, and we have 4 children, 3 daughters. The oldest one is now almost 18, and the youngest one just became 4 years old. Then the second after that, 12 years old, a boy, Elias. Then 15 years old girl, Romesa, and the oldest, 18, Jamila. I converted to Islam in 1998, so this is 21 years ago now. We always say this was pre-9/11, so it was still a relaxed time to become a Muslim. At that moment I was 21 years old. I was already, I have a relationship with my current wife, and I became Muslim, and that's been 21 years now, and I'm still very happy with it. I still would say people I'm a believer. I'm somebody who believes in God, but I will not put myself to this church or that church until I came across some mostly Moroccan and Algerian boys, also Turkish, of course, which we have a lot, and I was triggered by their names. They're still named Ibrahim and Yusuf and Yusuf and Ismail, Ishaq, and my name being Jacob, Yaqub. So I asked them, I said, from where is those names? And they started telling, no, those are our prophets and we believe. So I got curious. I said, wow, this is in line with which I believe. So I got curious and I started to try to learn about Islam, but not to become a Muslim, but to see what would be wrong, like I saw with the Christian faith at a certain moment, that I said, well, this, I can't believe it, and I will put it aside. And it was a little bit the same intention, but I kept on, looking at stories, and what I saw is that monotheistic, strong monotheistic belief, which I had as a child, the Islam even made it stronger. Everything in Islam, and I was expecting at a certain moment that maybe the Quran would say, Muhammad is God or something like that, but nothing like that at all. Everything kept in line with monotheism. So at a certain point, when you go through that, then certainly the people around you start saying, well, look, you've been studying Islam now for a few months, and the way we see it, you're already a Muslim. So it's at a certain point, it's being honest with yourself. It's not, I don't think it's a question of that becoming a Muslim is not a question of whether you believe it or not, but when are you willing to accept that you believe in this way. For me, this was in 1998. At that moment, I was already in a relationship with my wife, and I told her that I became a Muslim, and she was fine with that. But she said, "You do what you like, and not for me." So I became Muslim 20 years ago, and this was basically not the end of a journey, but the start of a journey, because since then, Islam, it's not that you step in at a certain moment and that's it. No, this is when everything starts, and I had a long journey since then. So this is basically why I became a Muslim.
Aşağı yukarı 22 sene önce Yakup Müslüman değildi. Biz bir zamanlar 3 saat kendisiyle konuştuk. 3 saat tebliğ ettik. Yakup, İslam şöyledir, İslam böyledir ve gerçekten Yakup'un çok yakın olduğunu gördük. Yakın olduğu için daha özel şeyler anlattık İslam hakkında. Ama o konuştuğumuz gün şehadet etmedi, İslam'a girmedi. Dedik inşallah zaman verelim bu arkadaşa. Aradan 1 ay geçti, şehadet ettiğini duydum. Müslüman olduğunu duydum. Yine aradan bir müddet geçtikten sonra ailesi de Müslüman olduğunu duydum. Hatta bir zamanlar çalıştığım okula davet ettim. Dedim anlatın bakalım nasıl Müslüman olduğunuzu. Çocuklar da sizi dinlesin şeklinde.
My family, when I become a Muslim, it is a little bit the tradition of the people who live in Rotterdam that really it wasn't that hard. If I compare it to others, I've seen many people who became Muslim and unfortunately, you know, they got in big problems with their family, misunderstanding and sometimes even separation. Families would fall apart. With my family, and I'm still grateful to them, that they never really had a problem with me becoming a Muslim. Like I said, actually the one who taught me monotheism was my mother. So I stayed close to the faith which I grew up with, and it didn't alienate that much from their ideas. So unfortunately, my story is not the story of the majority of new Muslims. Most of the new Muslims, they suffer from a lot of problems. But in my case, it was pretty good. Yeah, and still up till this moment, I have a wonderful family. I have contact with everybody. I didn't, you know, split up with any of the family members. Of course, you have some discussions every now and then. But during Ramadan, for instance, my aunties and uncles, they come here for iftar. They join iftar with us. They sit with us. They eat with us. And my father, he passed away in 2015. But in this mosque, he made a lot of adjustments. He used to come as a volunteer and help in repairing things in the mosque. So yeah, in my case, there was not really a problem.
I know Jacob right now for maybe 6 years, even more almost. Jacob is for me a good friend of mine. He's one of my, even the most important teacher of me. It's crazy because I was born Muslim and he was not born Muslim, so it's even funny if you think about it, because he later became Muslim and I got Islam from my parents because I am from Morocco originally. I live over here in Holland right now, and I was 3 years old when I came to Holland. With my parents, they teach me always like one side of Islam. You know, so just this is the harsh part. You need to pray, you need to this, you need to that, but never the feeling to just be a Muslim. I wanted to be a Muslim, like to feel happy, to feel like the good part of Islam. You know, just to feel happy and pray and do everything Allah wants for me. But I didn't knew like exactly how to do. So when I met Jacob, I was relieved. I was relieved upon him. He teaches me. And the crazy part was he became Muslim and he teaches me.
The Islamic community in the Netherlands is, of course, migrants who came to Europe. And so mainly what you saw in the groups which came to Europe, not just the Netherlands, it were certain ethnic groups. So you would have the Turkish, the Moroccan, Pakistan, and England more. And unfortunately, still after 30 years, maybe 40 years, still you see those lines. So still you will see some Turkish mosques, Moroccan mosques. So the community still, there is not a oneness in terms of Islam, as it should be, of course. We as Muslims should all be together as one. Ummatun wahida is what we would like to see. But unfortunately, also due to, it was a little bit easy for our government to keep them all in their own groups. So the Turkish with the Turkish, the Pakistanis, the Moroccans there. So this is why a certain moment we felt the need to create a mosque without ethnicity. So we want to create a mosque from bottom down. The problem, of course, was if you want it like that, who's gonna pay? The Turkish mosques paid by the Turkish community, Moroccan mosque paid by the Moroccan community, Pakistan by Pakistan. But we are just with a few Dutch people. So who can we go to ask for money? We don't have enough. We decided at that moment to go to our brothers and sisters in Qatar. Of course, we have our wealthy brothers there. So we went to our brothers in Qatar and they helped us, and we managed to bring the money together. We bought a church. It was a church from the apostolic community. And now for the last 6 years, we are running the mosque, in which we are very proud that we achieved 3 major goals. The first goal is that we established a mosque which is multi-ethnic, in the board, in the activities, in the prayer hall. So we have all kind of nationalities, and there is not one nationality which is dominant, also not the Dutch. Then the second thing which was important for us is multi-ideology. So we don't want Muslims who are in this group or this madhab or, no, we say let's all be together and have a common way of practicing our religion. So we want multi-ethnic, multi-ideology, and which is very important, especially in the West. It's maybe a little bit different than maybe countries in the East, is that we found it very important that women also would have a position in the board. So we are very proud. We have a female chairman in this mosque. We have the majority of the board members are women, Turkish or Moroccan or this or that. It's not going to work. Even the youth of many of those mosques now, a lot of them, they feel maybe more Dutch than they feel Moroccan. But they say, but I have to go to the Moroccan mosque. It's creating sometimes a little bit identity crisis, which can give some problems. And we hope that this will be a small start.
Yakup kardeşimiz çok güzel işler yapıyor. Yani kalben İslam'ı yaşayan birisi, İslam'a değer veren birisi ve işte bu son günlerde de siz de şahit oldunuz buna. Burada da gördünüz. Özellikle İslam'a ilgisi olan insanlarla irtibatta, onlara işte İslam'ı anlatmaya çalışan, bize de her türlü meydanı veren bir kardeşimizdir.
Kendisi buradaki mühtedilere öncülük ediyor, liderlik ediyor. Çok da başarılı olduğunu düşünüyorum. Kendileri işte finansını vesaire sağdan soldan bularak burada yakınlarımızda kendi dillerini konuşabileceği, tabii ki hani bizim de burada camilerimizde İslam dini anlatılıyor, namaz kılınıyor, hutbe, vaaz vesaire var ama onların da tabii ki kendince sıkıntıları var, dertleri var. giderebilecekleri bir cami aldılar, satın aldılar. Çok güzel faaliyetler düzenleniyor.
I think the great needs which the Muslim community needs in Europe is that they will be supported in developing their own identity. That we will not say we want one or the other. It can be together, but we also need to create mosques like this. Also, in another way, we have to have our brothers who help us. For instance, in Turkey, it's a beautiful place between the east and the west. You know, you have the Arabic, it's far. But for instance, Istanbul, we had conferences there with European Muslims, and we brought them there. And it's a very balanced way of seeing the Islamic tradition and all the history of Islam and everything near, but also seeing that it can be done in a European, modern way. You know, you don't have to become an Arab to be a Muslim. This awareness is needed because we want to develop Islam. Turkey has done a really good job in Europe, but also in Istanbul. Also to give, let's say the whole scene now in Europe, of course, with Islamophobia and distrust. It's also good for European Muslims to feel like, okay, there is a nation state where Islam functions in a secular society in which you have all the, let's say, freedom and the ways of dealing with justice. There's a court, you can go there. It's good that Muslims see that. Of course, the last years growing, we experience Islamophobia. Nobody can deny. Me as a Dutch person, I have really no problem with the Dutch people. I can relate with them. But you will always see that certain powers try to misuse on Muslim side and on the opposite, because polarization needs two opposites. What we always say is that don't give them a chance. Stay in the middle. That's why our center is called the middle way. It's from the Arabic term al-wasatiyya, the middle path. That we as a society, regardless of your religion, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Buddha, it doesn't matter. As a society, you have to be in the middle. Don't go to the extreme sides, because then you will be used and misused for political gain. And it's not that we should stand on the side and complain about Islamophobia, complain about Islamism and complain. No, you have to do something. You have to be the middle group, and the middle group has to keep hands together and stick and show the people on that side and on that side, the Islamic extremists and the Islamophobic extremists. Tell them, look, we are not gonna let our society be ripped apart.